All right. Okay. Today we're going to warm up and then we'll get down onto the mat and do a lot of just body weight exercises. If you happen to have something at home like little weights, or if you just want to grab some cans of food, that would work in your hands as well. Something that you'll feel comfortable holding will work well, just to add just a little bit of weight, okay? So let's start with a side lunge, and we're just going to take it to that same side repeatedly, okay? We'll step it out wide. Bring it back in. Let's make sure we're breathing well. So we're going to exhale, take it out. And then we can just add some little arms here as we step it back in. Feet together. Let's lift our arms out to a lateral raise. So I'm going to suggest that you exhale as you're coming up out of that side lunge. Exhale as you're coming up out of that side lunge. Let's do 3 more on this side. 2 more on this side. 1 more. Now we'll take it to the other side, and we'll just start off with just the legs. Just the legs for now, like we did on the other side. And exhale as you're pushing off from that side lunge. And let your bottom stick out in the back. Use your glutes. You want to lean your body weight back into them a little bit. And then we'll add those arms. Exhale as you're coming up out of that lunge. Let's really push that weight back. Keep the weight away from the knees. Get it back into your glutes so you're using those glutes more. Exhale. Let's go for 4 more now. And 3, and 2. Good, now let's keep the feet nice and wide, and we'll do some side lunging. And just take your arms out to the side and stick your bottom out in the back. Like if there's a wall behind you, you kind of want to push your butt to the wall, right? And then we're going to pull our arms back. Just these nice gentle rows. Reverse flies here. Just helping to open up the chest and get our back all nice and warmed up. Blow it out. Exhale. Pulse it, pulse it, pulse it. Use your breath. And let's take it for 8, and 7, and 6. Feel the shoulder blades slip down the back. Squeeze them together. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Good. So now we'll take it down. You can either keep the weights in your hand or put them down. Okay? We're going to go into a nice deep squat and then bring those arms up overhead for a nice stretch through that waist. Sit back into your bottom. Big arms up overhead. Again, with or without the weights. You could always leave the weights or the cans on the floor. And exhale, bring it up. And exhale, bring it up. Blow it out. Keeping your belly button to your backbone, we want to keep our abdominal muscles engaged. Exhale, this whole workout, we're going to try to keep our focus on core muscles, really keeping those core muscles engaged. So ribs in, belly in. Nice posture. Keep that chest wide open. Let's go for 4 more. Take it up. And 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Now we're going to press it up. Just a nice little overhead press with that side lunge. Exhale. Get those shoulders ready for everything that's coming. We're going to plank a lot later. We're going to get those shoulders nice and mobile and all nice and warmed up. Blow it out. Let's go for 4, for 3, for 2. Good. Now we're going to drop into some plies. So let's take our arms front at first, just front, as we drop into those plies. Blow it out. So we're going to do a little arm combo in a moment here. So it's going to be lift front, open side, bring it back to front and lower it. Front, side, front and lower. Front, side, front and lower. Blow it out. Now let's raise our right heel up off the ground. And just get up into those low legs. Working that calf, but keeping your center. And this is where that core comes in. So you're not leaning to one side. You keep your core nice and tight. And keep your balance. Now let's lift that left heel up off the floor. Blow it out. Keep it going. Good. Exhale. Good. 2 more like this. Now 1 more. Good. Okay. Now it's going to be plie into a little toe tap. Plie into a little toe tap with that nice overhead reach. Blow it out. Tap those toes. Sit down low in that plie. Good, let's take it for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, nice. Okay, so one more standing exercise before we get down to the mat. We'll get into lunge split squat position. Let's just take the arms out to the side, and we're gonna lower into that split squat and pick it up. So you want to keep belly button to backbone, tailbone to the ground, crown of the head to the sky. Okay? Focus on the position of your belly button, draw it back. If you put your mind with your navel when you're trying to balance, it can be very helpful. Center of your gravity. Put your focus there. Let's go for 4 more, for 3, for 2, hold it down. Now pulse, pulse. 4, 3, 2, step that left foot forward. Now step that right foot back. Abs in nice and tight. Here we go. Feel that nice long spine. Crown of the head to the sky here. Tailbone to the ground. Exhale it up. Exhale it up. Good. Let's keep that head up high, neck soft, belly tight. We're going to do 4 more on this side. 3 more. We get ready for those pulses. 2 more. Good. Now hold it and pulse. Pulse. Abs in nice and tight. 3, 2, 1. Now step that right foot forward. Good. All right, so now let's get down on the mat. So we're going to start right into a plank position. Hands right underneath shoulders, feet hip bone distance. And let's go ahead and hold this plank and just really start to get that feeling of locking up your core. So belly button to backbone. Okay? And we're going to pull our ribs up into our body. We don't want to sag, we don't want to lean. So instead we'll push the floor away with our hands and stay nice and tight. Now, maybe for those of you a little more advanced, you're going to do some add-ons. For those of you who are newer to planking, maybe you're on your knees. Okay? So if you're going to do some add-ons, let's try bringing that right knee toward our right shoulder. And then take that right foot back. Now let's bring that left knee toward our left shoulder and take that left foot back. Right knee comes up. Take it back, left knee comes up, take it back. And again, right knee, take it back, left knee, take it back. 4 more like this. Now 3, now 2, now 1 more. Nice job. Lower knees, take it back to child's pose. Let the buttocks sit back on the heels. You can rock the hips a little bit side to side, just loosen everything up nicely. Good. All right. So now actually we're going to flip onto our back and let's do some bridging, okay? So we'll have our feet hip bone distance. We're going to have our feet equally distant from the buttocks, right? So let's go ahead, just let your arms sit by your side for this one, and let's just start to pick up into that bridge and then come down. And exhale, picking up into that bridge and lower it back down. Blow it out when you lift into that bridge. Good. Try not to clench the buttocks, right? But instead let the hamstrings and your back thighs and your buttock muscles and your belly and your back, just all these different muscles work together rather than feeling like any one area is being overused, right? So exhale, take it up. That's the beauty of a bridge, right? It's a nice teamwork of so many different muscles combined, working together for that lift. Good, so now we're gonna make this a little more challenging. Pick up that right leg, and we're gonna pick up into that bridge and lower. Exhale, pick up into that bridge and lower. And again, we don't need to get real aggressive in any one muscle area. Any lift that you can get here is great. In single leg bridging, very challenging exercise. Really good for balancing the left, right side of hips and legs to make sure that we don't have a more dominant side. Let's do 2 more. Exhale. And 1 more exhale. Good. Now that right foot goes down, left leg up. And if at any point you feel like you've done as many reps as you can do, then try to just go back into the double-footed bridge. Okay. Exhale, but keep bridging if you can. Exhale, take it up and down. And exhale, take it up and down. On those exhales, feel the belly just tighten up a little bit better every time. Let's go for 3 more. Exhale for 2 more. Exhale, 1 more. Good. Okay, let's go ahead. Finish off with just a couple more double-footed bridges here to balance it out. Exhale, take it up. Just some nice symmetrical bridges after that one-legged work. Okay, go for 3 more. Exhale for 2 more. Now this time, let's hold the hips up high in that bridge and just pulse out. Using these outside hip muscles, the muscle called the glute medius right here in those glutes, really important muscle for good healthy knees. Blow it out. When your glutes and the strength of your glutes is well rounded, we're easier on our knees when we walk, run, spin, do all the things that we like to do, play tennis, whatever it is that you like to do. Exhale, press it out. Let's go for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Now we're going to widen our feet the width of a yoga mat. Right? Or I should say maybe just a little wider than shoulder width. Now let's touch our knees together. This is going to feel a little strange if you're not used to doing work like this. Internal rotation, pelvic tilt lifts now. We're going to pick up those hips now into the bridge, keeping our knees pressed together. This is going to help us use our internal rotator muscles, promoting good balance. So often we do turning out, even in exercise, but in life, we turn out more than we're ever going to turn in like this. But we have internal rotator muscles, so we want to keep it all balanced out. Exhale, take it up for 4. Exhale for 3. Exhale for 2. And exhale 1. Okay, good. Let's roll. Let's find out. So now we're going to do a classic Pilates exercise, single leg circles. Okay? So we have a couple options. You could bend your left knee. Okay? And have your right leg up straight, or you could straighten your left leg, or maybe somewhere in between, maybe just a slight bend in that left knee if you're tight, okay? You might also find that you're a little tight in these hamstrings, and that's okay if you have to bend this one a tiny bit. I prefer that you try to keep a straight knee if you can though, right? So we're gonna practice small of the back down, nice and firm, nice toe point. Go ahead and let your palms press to the ground with the elbows a little bit wide and feel the width of your upper back. So we're just going to circle. You probably automatically went in a clockwise circle. That's what most of us do, and that's okay. First, let's start with that clockwise. So we exhale, take it around slow. Belly button to back up. Now the whole idea here is to keep the torso completely still. So you're like a statue with the exception of this right leg moving. Okay? The rest of the body's locked in. The core is nice and tight. Side ribs draw in, front ribs draw down, obliques are engaged. Okay? And that all keeps us from rocking our pelvis side to side. We want to keep that pelvis stationary. Now reverse the direction of these circles. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Use that Pilates out breath. Now to get a little more specific with how your spine should be, when you're in what we call neutral spine, okay, you have that little bit of space between the low back and the mat, as we're going to honor our natural curve in that low back area and that lumbar region. Okay, so just make sure the small of the back is firmly down, mid back is firmly down, upper back is firmly down, but allow that little bit of curve to stay intact in that low back area. So let's do 2 more in this direction and 1 more. Hold. Let's go ahead and have a chin tuck and hold this leg up. And we'll just, before we go to the other side, let's go into straight leg switch. So we're going to exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Keep the chin firmly tucked. You don't want to tuck the chin halfway, tuck it all the way. Imagine you're holding a credit card in place here. You don't want to let go of it. Blow it out. Now, if you find the straight leg version a little too difficult, you could always do bent knee switch instead of straight leg switch. And as always, you suit these sets to your body, right? So if today is, this is all new to you today, you know, maybe you do half the set and then you hug your knees to your chest and take a little rest. Let's go for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. Let's hold the left leg up now. Hold that left leg up. We're going to allow this right leg to come down and we prepare now for single leg circles on this leg. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. We'll start clockwise on this left leg. Let's start clockwise. Abs in. And just imagine that you're drawing a circle with your big toe. And we are. Let's draw that circle with our big toe. and make sure that your hips aren't moving at all. If you put your fingers on your ASIS bones here, these front hip bones, notice they're not going anywhere. Okay, they're not moving. Only your leg moves. This is a ball and socket joint. The end of our femur bone, the end of our thigh bone is like a ball, and it just rolls right within that hip socket. The hip itself stays in place. 2 more. Good. Now reverse the direction. Inhale and exhale. Soft curve of neck. Maintaining the curve of your low back. You're imprinted nice and firm. The rest of the spine. Upper back, mid back, small back, right? Good. Now, let's go ahead and hold this left leg up. Tuck chin. We'll do a second set of straight leg switch. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep the tips of the shoulder blades on the floor. Good. Locking that shoulder girdle into place is part of core stabilization. It's not just belly muscles. That's not the only part of your core. Keep that shoulder girdle down the back and keep the tips of those shoulder blades firmly on the floor. And let's go for 4, for 3, for 2. We're gonna go right into crisscross, fingertips behind the head, and then we twist. So we're not trying to touch elbow to knee, but rather think about taking your shoulder towards your opposite hip bone. Okay? So that you really work those transverse muscles, take it up and over, take it up and over, and get really good into those obliques, more controlled. Pilates is named after the man who created it, and he at first wanted to name it controlology, but that was such an awkward word that it was decided that it would be named after him instead. So my point being that Pilates is all about control. Learning how to use those deep muscles better for more control and coordination. Let's go for 4, for 3, for 2, and now 1 more. Good, okay. So now we'll allow our head to go down for just a moment here, and let's find tabletop position. So tabletop position is all about the legs, okay? You're gonna hold, so you have a plumb line from the knee to the hip crease right here. You don't wanna bring the knees in closer, right? Because that's just easy. And then you're flexing the spine to some degree. Instead, we wanna have to brace those deep muscles in the belly, okay? So let's go ahead, take fingertips lightly behind the head. Weight of the head is gonna fall into those fingertips. Instead of your hands trying to grab your head up. We want the abs to do that, right? So let's have a nice controlled roll off from both ends, and then come back to tabletop, and then toe tap to the floor. Tabletop, roll off from both ends. Tap the floor with your toes. Exhale, tabletop, and then tap down. Exhale, roll. Tabletop, tap, tabletop, roll. Tabletop, exhale here, and exhale here. Tap. Exhale here, and exhale here. Good, 1 more. Exhale, down. Good, now just hold tabletop. We're gonna go to a straighter leg. So you can go ahead and let your head sit on the floor for this one. You could even take your thumb and index finger underneath your back hip bones a little bit and just make sure that the upper back and the back shoulders stay down. So you don't want to do one of these, okay? Keep those back shoulders down nice and tight. Now everyone's going to be different with this one. If you haven't been doing any double leg lowering, then maybe you're only going to go 5 degrees down. Some of you might be stronger, more advanced, you do this type of work all the time, then let's go for it. Go ahead and take those feet hovering over the ground. What you want to make sure of is that your spine doesn't change, because if the spine is staying in position, that means your abs are strong enough to stabilize that position of the spine, right? You don't want to do this to hurt your back, right? We're here to help our backs get stronger, right? So just do what you can handle. So we're going to exhale, take it down slow, and inhale, bring it back up. Exhale down slow. Inhale it back up. Exhale. and inhale back up. Blow it out. Good, let's do 4 more like this. And 3 more. And 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Let's take a quick break. Hug knees to chest. Rock it out a little bit. Kind of massage your back. Get your breath. Okay? So for this next exercise, if you have something for your hands, then we're going to add arms to this. But you don't have to add arms to this, okay? If you have a little something like little weights that you want to hold in your hands, okay, the can of soup will do fine, all right? So let's just lift those hips and then lower one leg as you press the arms up overhead. So we're going to do a little jackknife and then lower. Now these jackknives are difficult if you're newer to core work, right? So to whatever degree you can get a little lift, try to focus on lifting with the strength of your abs. I don't want you to just try to throw your body up off the floor any way you possibly can, but instead focus on good ab work. And then lower the leg only as low as you feel that you can handle. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it, just do just right for you. Blow it out. 4 more like this, 3 more like this, 2 more, and 1 more. Great job. All right, good. Again, let's hug knees to chest. Take a little stretch, rock it out side to side a little bit. Okay, so now we'll do some side-facing work. Now, if you're on a harder surface underneath your mat like we are here, you might just want to double fold if it's a yoga mat and it easily bends, right? Or you can even slide a towel just for extra padding underneath your forearm, because you know there's no reason to have a pointy elbow hurting on the floor when you're trying to do a side plank. That's not part of the challenge here. Abs in nice and tight. We're going to get into that side forearm plank. Now you can either stay here if you want an add-on. If you're a little more advanced, then maybe lowering the hips, lifting the hips, lower the hip, lift the hip, okay? And we really get into that side body with a little more intensity now. Picking up, using those strong flank muscles. Abs in, exhale. Let's do 4 more like this, 3 more like this, 2 more, and 1 more. Hold it up, breathe. Breathe, belly's nice and tight. Good, all right. Now, whenever you're trying to modify a side plank, keep in mind you can always put that top foot on the floor, right? So just as to modify for you. So let's go ahead, lie down now. We'll have that top foot on the floor, and we're gonna lift the bottom leg just to work those inner thighs a little bit. Okay, blow it out, exhale, exhale. So now that you've got your inner thighs nicely warmed up, we're gonna try a Pilates exercise, right? These little beats where the top leg floats and holds its position, and the bottom leg comes up toward it, doesn't need to touch it. The whole idea here is that the bottom leg is the only part of your body that should be moving, right? And then once you become more proficient with this exercise, maybe then just adding a little bit of speed, but making sure you still have the same amount of control with that speed. Okay? So your waist is wrapped nice and tight. Let's draw that belly in. You want to stabilize the spine so it doesn't move, stabilize the pelvis so it doesn't move. Good, now in this next exercise, we're gonna get a little outside hip work and inner thigh work. So you can go ahead and lower both legs. Let's lift, lift, lower both. Lift, lift, lower both. Top leg, bottom leg, both come down. Top leg, bottom leg, both come down. Let's try to keep a toe point so that our lower leg muscles are engaged here. Top leg, bottom leg, lower. Top leg, bottom leg, lower. Good. Use those forced Pilates out breaths, and notice how when you take those firm out breaths, the belly just naturally falls back into place, nice and firm. 2 more like this. Now 1 more and bring it down. Okay, nice job. So next, my suggestion is that you have extra padding under your knee for this next one. We're still on the same side. I don't want you to get confused. And if you do have a little weight or a can of soup, you can hold that in your hand. I like to have some weight up here just as a reminder to not just let this arm go like limp lettuce, right? We want it to be active and engaged, right? That might not be too much weight that you have to hold up there, but it's something as a reminder. So then we're just gonna do single leg extension here. And here, the whole body stays in the exact same position in space, and you just bend the knee and straighten it. You don't move the thigh. Okay, and again, that's where the core comes in to help you stabilize everything. Torso, that top thigh, blow it out for 4, for 3, for 2. Good. Now we'll end this side series on this side with a straight arm plank. If straight arm plank is not available to you, maybe you're going through some wrist issues, just do forearm plank instead like we did earlier, okay? If you have trouble balancing in side plank, you can always take the top foot in the front of the bottom toes. That will give you a little more surface area that your feet are on, so it feels like a little less of a tightrope balance. You could also bend the top leg if you find it's too much. Right? Last resort would be taking the bottom knee to the floor, but then you're not really planking anymore. So I don't want you to go to that last resort if you can handle this one or those other 2 options. 1 more big breath in here. And then as you exhale, you can gently come down. Good. So let's do that whole series on the other side. So we're gonna flip over, okay? And remember that extra fold in the mat if you found that to be helpful for your elbow, right? Our elbows can be a little bony, pointy, right? And it's not so comfy if they're on a hard surface, so don't torture yourself like that. Abs in nice and tight. Let's lower hips, lift hips. Lower hips, lift hips. Inhale down, exhale up. We get our lats into play on this, okay? We get those nice flank muscles into play. The abs, the deep abs, just stay nice and tight the whole time. We need them tight, and blow it out. Think about nice and compact. Draw everything in toward your middle. Lock up that strength. Blow it out for 4. Exhale for 3. Exhale for 2. Good, now just hold that plank. Breathe. Good, let's come down. That top leg bends, okay? And we're gonna come down on our side and just start warming up the inner thigh with these little lifts here. Exhale, take it up. Blow it out. Okay, good. Now let's go into that classic Pilates exercise, our leg beats. So we're gonna hold that top leg up and just maybe a 15-degree angle, if that. Okay, and then that bottom leg comes out with nice control. Try to just fingertip the floor with your front hand so that your palm's not flat and helping you balance. We want to create as much instability as we lie on our side like this as possible. That way your core has to work harder. Exhale, take it up. Exhale, take it up. And then again, you know, if this is an exercise that you do on a regular basis at your gym, which is probably closed right now, right? Then just go ahead, add that extra speed. You know, if you're a more advanced Pilates person, go ahead and do this your way. Blow it out. Good. Now we're going to do that top leg, bottom leg, lower. So let's lift left leg, right leg, lower, or whatever side you're on right now. So let's say top leg, bottom leg, down. Top leg, bottom leg, down. Top leg, bottom leg, both lower. And there's control in that lowering, by the way. Right? You don't just plop the leg back down. Control, control, control. Let your mind stay with the navel. Get behind the navel with your mind. Feel the position. Draw that belly in. Zip yourself up. Up, up, down with those legs. Up, up, down with those legs. 2 more like this. And now 1 more. Great. Okay, so next, we're gonna come up. We need the padding for the knee, remember, okay? So if you have the extra towel or something, or whatever, if you don't have the yoga mat to do a double fold, right? Maybe you're already on a really thick mat, or maybe you're on carpet underneath your mat, you'll be fine. So let's extend. Oh, that's right. So we're gonna hold that weight up there. Blow it out. Abs in nice and tight. So let's have the thigh parallel to ground. And in Pilates, we improve what's called proprioception, just our ability to innately feel and know where our body is holding position in space. And that helps us to balance, so we're less likely to take falls, okay? Makes us more coordinated, so that can make you a better dancer. And so you know where your body is holding position in space when you're moving or holding still. Pilates is great for honing that skill. Exhale, take it out. Keep the ribs in, crown of the head reaching out, and let's go for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Nice, okay. So now we're gonna come up into our side straight arm plank. So if you're able to stack the ankles, then great. Go ahead and stack those ankles, okay? Remember that you have the option to put the heel in front of the toes. You have the option to bend the top leg to get those hips and that waist up nice and high, okay? Last option would be to come down to the bottom knee if you need to. Blow it out. Feel the strength. Use that tricep of that straight arm. Push the ground away. Get into the tricep. Get into your lats in this area here, in your flank. Keep your belly in nice and tight. The bottom inner thigh is going to work hard in this one. Inhale. Now let's transition back to a straight arm plank. And then remember the option that you can be on your knees. So earlier we did kind of like that Spider-Man move, like we're climbing up a wall with the knee going to the outside. This time, let's bring the right knee up to your chest, right up the center. I need you to bow your back to create space for that right leg to come up underneath you, right? And really lift your belly to get that back bowed. Lift and scoop. Draw the belly in and up, and then take that right foot back. Now let's bring the left knee in. Same thing here. We lift, we scoop, draw the belly in, and then take that left foot back. Let's bring the right knee up underneath the chest here. 1 more inhale. Take that right foot back. Inhale. Exhale, bring that left knee in. Breathe while it's here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. 1 more inhale. Exhale, take that left foot back, come back into plank. Good, so now we're gonna do some rolling planks, okay? So if you need to take a little break at any point, just come down to your knees and take a little break, all right? So we're gonna roll with our left hand and come into side plank. Right arm up, inhale. Exhale, take that right hand back down to the ground. Open your feet back up to hip bone distance. And then exhale, let's transition now to the other side, taking that left arm up, fingers to the sky, inhale. Exhale, we come back into that plank. Open the feet to hip bone distance. Inhale here, and then exhale, roll to your right. Inhale, exhale, right hand down. Come back into your plank, and then we transition into that left side. Lift your left fingers, inhale. Exhale, we come down. Let's come down to the knees, sit back into child's pose. Buttocks to heels, rock it out side to side. Good, so now we're gonna stretch the mat back out if you had yours folded like I did, okay? Your elbows underneath your shoulders. Let's come into forearm plank. You can have palms together, lightly interlaced fingers, or just flat palms. It's really whatever you prefer. Okay, let's step this left foot out to the side, a few inches out. Tap it out, tap it out. Exhale, tap it out. Exhale, tap it out. Give me 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Go to the right. Exhale, take it out. Exhale, take it out. Abs in nice and tight. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Good. Let's come down, pelvis, thighs, okay? In yoga, this is called Sphinx pose. I love it in Pilates because we often do some chin tucking. So now we're going to pull the chin away from the chest, open up your chest. Pull your elbows back. It's like you're trying to slide your chest forward, almost like, you know, you're trying to come out of your skin, like a snake. Face chest, trying to slide out. Big breath in. Good. Now let's take our arms overhead. So we're going to exhale, come up into Superman hold. So here we've got our legs up. We've got our upper body raised, using our strong back, our strong glutes. Inhale here, and then come back down, exhale. Inhale here, exhale, come back up. Hold it, breathe. Feel the muscles that are engaged. I want you to lift your belly button. Don't push your belly into the floor. Pick it up off the floor, okay? One more inhale, exhale, come down. Good, now we're gonna do a set. So let's exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, and inhale down. And again, exhale up, and inhale down. And exhale up, and inhale down. And exhale up, and inhale down. Good, let's do 2 more. Exhale up, be strong, lift that belly button. 1 more, this time hold it up there. Now, keep the upper body in this lifted position, but let your feet touch down. Now, like we're pulling ropes back, we're gonna pull our elbows back in a row. Good, reach for more rope, pull that rope back. Reach for more rope, pull that back. Add super tight, reach, pull, exhale. Reach, exhale, pull it back. Reach, exhale, pull it back. Inhale, and exhale. Good. Inhale, reach, exhale, pull. 2 more, reach, exhale, pull. 1 more, reach, exhale, pull. Nice job. So now we're going to lower the upper body. Okay? Let your arms just sit by your side. I'd like you to have your big toes maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch apart. That's all. Okay? So we're just going to lift the right leg. Doing some single hip extension, keeping the front pelvis on the ground so your right hip bone has not lifted off the ground. That's still down. You're just lifting the leg, and that helps us to engage those muscles that are involved with pure hip extension. And then we lower that right leg. Now exhale, lift just the left leg. And hopefully they're even. When you can't lift one leg as high as the other, that points out a little imbalance. Pilates is great for imbalances. You keep practicing Pilates, you'll fix that. Lower down, exhale, lift the right leg. Inhale down, exhale, lift the left leg. Inhale down, exhale, lift the right leg. Inhale down, exhale, lift the left. And inhale down, and exhale right. And inhale down, last one. Exhale left, and inhale down. Good. Now, you got 2 yogi girls here, so we're gonna add a little yoga stretch here. Let's break it down. So let's first grab this left foot, and you can let your forehead rest on your right arm, and we'll rock it out a little bit, okay? And then we're gonna come up into the half bow, right? So if you feel like this isn't available to you, if you can't grab your foot, then here you are. You don't have to hold your foot to do this, right? So let's reach through our fingers, open the chest, strengthen your back. We're gonna strengthen those erector spinae muscles, our extensors in our back. Most people that don't practice core work specifically have weak extensors, and they end up getting more and more rounded as they go through life. And let's come down slow. Good. All right, now we're going to take that left forearm underneath our face, a little pillow. Grab your right foot as best as you can with your right hand. If you had knee surgery and your knee just doesn't flex this much, you know what to do, right? You're just gonna bend the leg as much as you are able to. You could have the strap, wrap the strap, loop it around the foot, right, to bring yourself into a nice hold. When you're ready, let's come on up for our half bow on this side now. Breathe. Breathe when you're here, preferably just through the nose now. So you have two options. You could come down and take a little rest, get your breath, or come into full bow. Left hand goes back to left foot, right hand holds that right foot, and we pick up with that strong back in the bow. Make sure that your front pelvis, so when you do this pose, your front pelvis, the pubic bone, the front hip bones, they should be level on the floor. Don't curl your pubic bone up off the ground. That would be an indication that you're being a little too aggressive with the back bend around the low back area. Keep that front pelvis down. Breathe. Good. Now let's lower the thighs, and then we're going to lower the upper body. Let's place our hands on the mat, push it back into child's pose, and stretch out your back. Hips side to side. Feels good. Okay, then we'll do some cat-cows. So we have our hands underneath our shoulders, our knees hip bone distance. Inhale, face chest forward, and then exhale, let's round. You're going to scoop that belly up, up, up. Like there's a string attached to the back of the navel, pulling you up toward the ceiling with that back. Good, let's inhale, face chest, reaching out. And exhale, let's round, draw the belly in, push the ground away. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale, round. Good, okay. So we're gonna take a vinyasa. So we'll place the hands for plank. You could always be on your knees for this. You don't have to be in straight leg plank. We chaturanga, same thing. You can be on your knees for that touchdown. Let's inhale into cobra, upward facing dog. Open up your heart center. The key in cobra or up dog is push firmly through the hands, don't lean on them, and make sure your belly's in, right? And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Now we're gonna lift this left leg, best you can, point the toe, bend this left knee. Now spin this left front hip to the left wall, right? Now move this left leg around. I like to draw some circles with my knee, just to make sure that at this point in the workout, hopefully you're feeling nice and mobile. Okay, let's get everything moving. That ball and socket joint again. Roll it. When it's the left leg, it's just gonna feel most natural to do counterclockwise circles, but either way is fine. Now let's sweep this left leg forward, and we're gonna bring that left knee up to the wrist. So all the hip work we did earlier, it's gonna feel nice to do a stretch to loosen up the hips. We don't want to walk away from our Pilates practice feeling tight and contracted, right? We do all that tight contracting to strengthen, and then we need to finish by lengthening those muscles, stretching out and promoting good mobility, okay? So maybe come down into a fold. Good, so let's pick up our head. Let's come back to that plank position. Inhale in your plank. Push your heels back. Feel the flexibility of your feet and ankles, right? Exhale, chaturanga down, touch down. Inhale, up, dog, or cobra, whatever you like, right? With cobra, you can have your elbows bent as much as needed. Just push the ground away with your pelvis in your hands. Okay? And then exhale it back to downward facing dog. Now we're gonna lift this right leg, point our right toes, bend our right knee, spin that right front hip to right wall, and roll. Roll that right thigh bone around within the hip socket. Keep your belly in. Right? Looking underneath your left arm is a good idea. Watch that right foot as you move that right leg. Make sure you're not collapsing on that left shoulder. Okay? And then let's exhale, bring this right knee up to our right wrist. And we go into pigeon and stretch on this side now. Open up your chest. And then exhale with a big fold, nice long breath. We find that deeper stretch in our hip. Enjoy this stretch. Try to melt into it, relaxing Any tension from your hips, thighs, face, neck, shoulders, arms, legs and feet, face, everywhere. Okay, now we're going to bring that left leg from the back, bring it around. So we're going to go ahead and do a little more strength movements here. So let's come into, in yoga we call this boat pose, in Pilates we call it VC, okay? Find the V, right? So maybe you have the longer legs, the straighter legs, if your hamstrings aren't too tight, and you could advance this a little bit more, but you could also just keep your legs bent. You could even bend so much that you're kind of tippy-toeing the floor. That's okay too, all right? But if possible, go ahead and find a straighter leg. If you can hold on to that. Get your back ribs forward, belly in, chin back, head high. Brace your abs. Good, release. So now we're going to do upward facing tabletop with your feet down, your hands to the floor, shoulder web. And this just makes a nice counter stretch and strength to the muscles that we just used. Okay, we're working very much in the front body. Now we use a lot of those back body muscles to push us up. And then if it feels nice for you, go ahead and let your chin drop back. And let's come back, hips to the ground. Good, so we're gonna do seated spinal twist, okay? So you can either hold the weights in your hand. I think you're gonna smack the wall, Katie, so you just need to move toward me a little bit. You see what I mean in a moment. Yeah, just a little bit. So you want your arms to have full range. Try not to have anything, in that range. So we're gonna exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, come center. You could always do this with your elbows bent at 90 degrees. That would be okay too. So that you don't smack your mother in the face. Exhale, twist, and then inhale, come center. Exhale, and come center, and exhale, twist, and come center. Good. And we don't have to hold anything in our hands. Again, sometimes the weight just serves as a reminder to keep the muscles a little more active. Right? We've got a weight there. We have to engage even through our arms here. So we exhale, twist. Now, if you're really tight in your hamstrings, you might need to bend your knees so that your spine sits more upright. You could bend them as much as you need to. You're still doing a spinal twist. Okay? It's not taking the easy way out. It's doing it properly. Now, we gotta have our spine straight. So if you're sitting back like this and struggling, that's not the exercise, right? We want the upright spine. Exhale, twist. Exhale, twist. Now, see if you can watch that backhand. Watch that backhand. Good, last one. Great, all right, let's put those weights down. So next, we're gonna do an exercise called the saw, okay? Now, if you have a little something, I'm gonna, stick a weight under there just to demonstrate, which is not gonna do much because the weight's so tiny. But if you have like some towels or washcloths that you want to put under the knee, you could go ahead and do that because we have a lot of ligament going on in there, okay, a lot of tendon, ligament, that area. You don't want to feel like it's being pulled on in an unnatural, not so healthy kind of way. You could also just bend the knees, okay, that would be okay too. All right, so arms out to the side, nice deep breath in. We're gonna exhale. The first couple we'll do it nice and slow, just to kind of establish our range of motion that we're kind of capable of here. We twist, we forward fold, okay? So we're gonna inhale, come on up. Exhale. We'll twist to the right, take your time. Make sure you don't bend from your waist. So you wanna keep your spine as straight as possible. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, come center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, come center. Exhale, take it left. Inhale, come center. Exhale, take it right. Good. Blow it up. Come up center. And up center, tall. Center, tall. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Good, and while we're here in this straddle position, we'll just try to focus on a little more static flexibility now. Now that your body's nice and warm, your muscles are warm, let's go ahead and try to work on loosening up a little more through those inner legs, hamstrings. Now, you can't force loose hamstrings. I just ran 6 miles before we started. just taping this, right? So my hamstrings are tight, they're screaming a little bit, right? At another time, they may be absolutely fine being straight, but right now it feels better to keep them bent. So just go ahead and bend them, right? Hinge forward from your hip, keep that chest out, blow it out. Use those long exhales. It's the exhales that really help us release the tightness, the tension, the stuff that we're holding in those muscles that we just want to gently get rid of, right? We can't force it away, but we can gently try to get rid of that. That'll make you more flexible for your next Pilates practice. Let's inhale, come up. Now let's square over this left leg so we can focus a little more on the hamstrings of just this left leg. And we're gonna exhale, square our body over. Chest reaches up and out, belly's in. Exhale, we fold, sink. Maybe take the outside hand, the opposite hand to the outside of that leg, and then possibly take that other hand behind you and then just kind of create this separation with your arms. That helps give you a little bit of leverage to see if you can just stretch your limbs a little more and also stretch your spine. Keep it nice and long. Good. Now come on up. Now let's square up over our right leg. One hand on either side of the leg, and we're going to fold, exhale over this right leg. Again, don't rush. If you rush, you're probably going to bend from your waist. Try to keep your back nice and straight. It's okay to bend the knee. The leg's a little tight. Right? And then maybe taking that outside hand again to the outside of the leg. Take the other hand behind and just kind of create that separation. Now use your hand to kind of push the leg one way, right? And the hip the opposite way. And just try to find a little more length any way you can. Breathe. Good. Let's come on up. All right. So let's bring the feet to the floor and then prop yourself up. And we're going to allow our heels to just kind of drop to the floor. This is a nice foot stretch, lower leg stretch. And then we'll start to lift our hips, okay? Open your feet to hip bone distance. If you're tight in your hamstrings, you can take your hands above your knees. If you feel pretty loose at this point, maybe let your hands come down toward the floor, whatever feels good. Let your head fold, and let's get a little upper body stretch into this. So let's lace the fingers behind us, and go ahead and let those arms wrap around. Don't let your shoulder girdle fall towards your neck, right? In this case, we want to keep it pulling toward our low back. So don't shrug your shoulders, in other words. Exhale, wrap your arms around. Now when we come up from this, we're going to sit back like we're taking a seat into a chair. Let your butt reach back, 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 back for that imaginary chair, right? And then bring your arms up. And we're in chair pose. For those of you who do yoga, right, you know this as Utkatasana. So let's sit in this chair power pose. Feel those strong glutes. You worked them really well today. And let's inhale, stand on top. Let's cross the right foot over the left and exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, come to the middle. Cross the left foot over the right foot. And then side bend left. And inhale, come back to the middle. Good, feet side by side. Let's take the chin up, chest up. Try to relax your shoulders. I want you to try to relax the back of the neck. And just imagine that there's a string attached to your chin. And with very little effort, it's just going to pick the chin up. And feel like the whole front body is being stretched and hanging from that string. Good, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay. Woo!